Hi, my name is Derek Higgs, and I'm a learning consultant here at PuzzleHR. And today we're here to talk about progressive disciplinary actions. And that basically refers to the process that employers use whenever they're trying to manage an employee's behavior, their performance, or any violations of company policy. So what I'm going to do now is share my screen and walk through that with you. And we're going to, just so you can, follow along, go ahead and log into Paylocity. I'm going to go ahead and set my screen up to do just that. I'm going to share my screen, Sunny, and share, log into Paylocity. And there we go. You can see my screen. Yes? Don't answer. This is a recording. I can't hear you. But before I go any further, make sure you understand this is a new mandatory procedure. This is how all disciplinary actions will be documented going forward. This helps us as a company become compliant with our SOC 2 requirements. It's important to understand you cannot sidestep this process. In order for a verbal, a written, or a final to count, it has to be in this format and documented in Paylocity. All right. All right. So let's go ahead and let's follow along. The first thing you want to do, of course, you want to log into Paylocity. You want to go up to the little hamburger, or as Trish says, she calls it the burger. Go to the burger, come down to performance. All right, once you're at the dashboard, you want to go up to the menu and click on journals. All right, so here we are. We are here at the performance journal screen. The next thing you want to do is click on create a journal. All right, so we are at the new journal entry screen. The first thing you want to do is click on the journal template dropdown and make sure you select the correct template. So we want PuzzleHR Progressive Disciplinary Action Form. Go ahead and click that. And once selected, it will pre-fill. Now, of course, self-discipline is great, but we're not here disciplining ourselves. So you want to choose someone else. Okay, click on someone else. All right. So now you want to click the About person. Now, in this particular case, I'm going to use Lisa Kernan. She's one of my co-workers here in the learning team. So I'm going to act like I'm her boss. And she was naughty. She was acting up on a Zoom call. So you click on Add About Persons. So once you're in this screen, Add About Employees, you want to type in her name. So I'm going to type in Lisa, and there it is. So you want to click on it and make sure it goes over into this right column here. That's the selected employee. Now you want to click Add About Employee. All right. So Lisa has been added. Now this is very, very important. We do not want to share this journal with Lisa right now. Okay. So as you see, this is unchecked. I just want to show you what it looks like. That's checked. That's unchecked. You want this to remain unchecked right now. We do not want to save this journal with this checked because she will get a notification right away. All right. And we don't want to do that right now. This has to be approved. This journal entry has to be approved by HR. That's Stacy Wilters and Trish Hudson, which we're about to add them as contributors. Okay. So we want to make sure that this is unchecked. All right. So add contributors. Right now we want to add HR. So you want to add Stacy Wilters and Trish Hudson. And again, make sure they're in the selected list over here on the right, and then click Add Contributors. Okay, so what that's going to do is when we finish with this journal entry and we click Save, Stacy Wilters and Trish are going to get an email notification that there is a journal entry entered by me on Lisa. Okay. So now you have them here. Right now, we do not want to add signatures. That's for later on. So on this left side, we are now done. Now you want to move over to the right side. Now here, we just want to add the employee's name. So I'm adding Lisa Kernan, and I'm going to put test, just in case I actually hit save on this one. I'm trying not to. Anyway, so You want to put the name of the employee in the title. Okay, so we know this is a progressive disciplinary action, right? And it's on Lisa Kernan. Okay, so now this is the first time Lisa was naughty, so this is going to be a verbal. Now, this gets a little tricky, but what you want to do here is you want to copy this section right here. So we're about to give the summary of the incident. So you just want to copy it. You want to come down into this section right here, right mouse click and click paste. All right. And get rid of this analyze sentiment that was carried over from this little analyze sentiment button up here. All right. So this is pretty self-explanatory. All you got to do is put the date of the incident, where it took place. I'm going to say that she did this on the 10th of February. She was fussing at me in a Zoom call, and so on and so forth. So you would, and it's very important that you be as detailed as possible here. So you want to describe the behavior. What exactly did the employee do or not do? How did the behavior deviate from expectations? And now this is very important. The impact. What were the consequences of the behavior? How did it affect others or the work environment? So you want to put all that information here. And then you scroll down. Then there's a section to put any prior discussions on the subject. There were no prior discussions. This is the first time. I may mention, oh, well, she kind of did something a little before, and I just, pulled a coat to it or what have you. Then you have the corrective action plan. Now, in this particular case, I think she needs to take a course on EQ, emotional intelligence. And I can put some other stuff here, but basically, and we put take a course. All right. So this is my corrective action plan. You can put whatever you want here. Employee comments. Of course, we're not working with the employee just yet, so there's no need for employee comments. Down here, you have a place where you can drag and drop or select uploads to add attachments. That could be an email, a document, or what have you. But you can add attachments here, and you would just click select file to upload, or you can drag and drop them. Okay, so now let's go back up and review. So now we have everything done. We gave a summary of the incident, if there were any prior discussions. This is a verbal, so this is the first one. A corrective course of action. I added my attachments. I'm going to double check and make sure that HR, for right now, HR only are listed as contributors. I made sure I did not share this with the employee at this time. And now I'm going to click save. I'm not going to click save right now because it will actually be saved. I'm going to click save as draft. So I'm going to click save as draft. Because remember, once it gets saved, all the contributors will receive an email. So there it is. Okay. So let's make believe I click save. So Stacy Wilters and Trish Hudson have received an email alert. Now that they've received an alert, I'm going to set up a meeting with them to review this journal. The journal cannot be shared with the employee until it has been reviewed by HR. I want to make sure that I state that and make sure it's very clear. You have to set up a meeting with Trish Hudson, Stacy Wilters, to review the journal entry and get their approval before you can share it with the employee. Okay? All right, so let's go back in. I'm going to go ahead and click on it to edit it. So now I've reviewed this with Stacy Wilters and Trish Hudson. They gave me the approval. They dotted some I's, crossed some T's, and we're ready to go. All right. So now the first thing we want to do is we want to remove Stacy Wilters and Trish Hudson as contributors. Okay. It's important. They don't need to be a part of this anymore. But now I'm ready to set up a meeting with the employee. But before I do, I have to have a witness. Normally, the witness is your leader. So what I'm going to do is add my leader. That's Jared Pearson. Make sure he's over here in the right column. I'm going to add him as a contributor. All right. So here I've added Jared. I'm going to set up a meeting with Jared because when I click save, which I'm not going to do right now, when you click save, Jared is going to get an email alert of this particular journal entry. Once he has the alert, he will be able to access the journal entry. I'm going to set up a meeting with Jared. I'm going to say, hey, Jared, here's what's going on. I'm sure you got the journal entry. Here's the situation. Here's what happened. And he and I will go over it. That gives him a chance to review it, to see what's going on. He and I go over it. He says, okay, go ahead and set up the meeting. We then set up the meeting with the employee. Okay. And now here's one thing that I got to make sure I stress. I have a little note here to stress this. A witness has to be a part of all journal entries. Make sure I say that. Whether it's verbal, written, or final, all journal entries have to have the witness. And it's important that you have a conversation with that witness before you meet with the employee. All right. So once you're ready to meet with the employee, you can go ahead. Now, let's say we're in a meeting with the employee. I set up a Zoom call with myself, Lisa, and Jared, my leader and witness, right? So now I'm sitting here with Jared and Lisa. We're actually reviewing this progressive disciplinary action. And now I can go ahead and click share. So this way, once we finish reviewing and I click save, she will get access to this particular journal entry. All right. I've already removed Stacy and Trish, so there is no reason for them to continue to be a part of this process. I've added Jared, right? He's a contributor now. I've already added him, so he has access to this journal entry as well. Now we want to add signatures, okay? Now it's important. So I'm going to add Jared. He's my witness. I'm going to add Lisa. She needs to sign off on it as well. So I'm adding Lisa. And don't forget to add yourself. I need to add myself. So we are all over here in the selected employees column. Click add signature requests. And there you have it. So Jared, Lisa, and myself now have to sign off. We have to sign off on this journal entry. All right. So again, I'm going through this with Lisa. I said, Lisa, this is a verbal. Here's a situation that happened. There were no prior discussions. I think that it may be advantageous for you to go ahead and take a class on emotional intelligence. There's a place for your comments once you have access to this journal. I may review some of the attachments, so on and so forth. All right. So I'm going to let her know that, hey, once this is shared, she will have the ability to add comments to this journal. So it's not like she doesn't have any say. She has, the chance to add some comments to this journal. All right. So there you have it. Now we've walked through this with the employee. So Lisa and I have reviewed it. Jared was our witness. I added them and myself to receive signatures. So once this is saved, they will receive notification to supply signatures, and they will be able to add comments as well. The employee will have access. Again, they will have access to add their comments. It's important that you make sure that they understand that. So now we're ready to click save. I'm not going to click save because I don't want this to go into on Lisa's permanent record. But once we click save here, they will receive the email request. Now, I'm going to share a few screenshots with you because it's important that you as the leader understand what the employee is to expect, and you can explain it to them as well. So once we click save here, they're going to get, I'm going to share a couple of screenshots. They're going to get an email, and you see here's an email from me to Lisa, and this is a request to sign the journal. So they will be able to view and have access to the journal so that they can sign it and add their comments. That's the first thing. When they click on View Journal, they're going to get this screen. They will see the entire journal, and I already scrolled down, so all the corrective action plans, so on and so forth, they will see that, and here are the areas where they can sign. Now, in this particular case, this is for Lisa, so she can sign, and here's where she can actually post comments. So you see here, she typed in, appreciate this feedback, and will work to correct this behavior. It's important that you explain to the employee that they have to click post okay, before they sign. So she typed in her information. She's going to click post before she clicks sign journal. So once she posts, the screen will change and it will look like this. All right. So now you see that once she click post, her comment will show up in the bottom of the journal. Okay. Now she's ready to click sign journal, or she can add more comments as well. Right. So once she clicks sign journal, she will then see a screen that looks like this. All right. Now here, it's a little tricky. They can click this area and they'll be able to use their mouse and scribble a signature. Or like in this case, Lisa chose to just type her name here. And she can also add another comment. There's also a place to add comments here right when you're submitting your signature. She chose to type her name instead of doing a little scribble. She added another comment, click submit. Once she clicks submit, the screen will now look like this. The system added her signature, the date, and you'll see that both comments are added to the bottom of the journal. All right. So now she's ready to click sign journal. Once she clicks sign journal, that official signature of hers will be added to the journal entry. All right. All right. So there you have it. So it's important that you understand, and I'm going to say it again. This is a new procedure and it is mandatory. This is how all disciplinary actions will be documented going forward. Again, this helps us as a company meet and maintain our SOC 2 requirements. So you cannot sidestep this process. Any verbal, written, final, and terminations have to go through this process. Otherwise, they do not count. So you cannot do a journal entry saying this is the second time I've had to do this and create a written. You can't do that if you have not first submitted a verbal using this process. So that's it. You got it. That's progressive disciplinary action. I'm now going to stop sharing my screen. So again, Derek Higgs with PuzzleHR, learning consultant here at PuzzleHR. That is progressive disciplinary action. If you have any questions, don't ask me. You want to go to HR, you want to contact Stacy Wilters, Trish Hudson, and they will be sure to assist you with any questions you may have. So that's it. Progressive disciplinary action. I'm going to give you back the rest of your day. Bye for now.